Hi guys, and welcome back. Yes, I'm finally here. Fought off those bears again. Came out on top, as always. Take that as you want. Today I'm going to be showing you a game which I only found out about a few days ago, which is called Verdun. Now, it's a World War I first-person shooter, and World War I's an era that's not really covered that much by games anymore, so I'm quite happy to see it being covered, and I was pleasantly surprised by this game, so that's why I'm doing a video on it today. Anyway, it's based on the Battle of Verdun, which obviously took part in World War I, and racked up 750,000 casualties over 299 days of battle, so it was a pretty bad battle, unfortunately, but it was very iconic for World War I, and hence why the game is based on it. So it works as kind of a squad-based game. However, there is also a team deathmatch mode, which I haven't actually tried yet because I'm so good at gaming stuff and I'll try that another time. But anyway, I don't think that's going to work as well as its other main game mode, which is the squad-based game mode. And this is practically kind of traditional World War I trench-based warfare. So each team starts off in a trench either side of no man's land, and they take turns to attack. I think there's a 4-minute timer you have, and within that time the attacking team has to secure a foothold, i.e. capture the enemy trench. You do this by having people in the trench, and then similar to Battlefield 4 Conquest, there is a timer that runs down, like a little circle, and then once it runs completely down, then you have successfully captured that trench, and you push the enemy back to the next further back trench. So, and then it's the enemy's turn to attack you and trying to get that trench back. So you take turns to attack, and each time you secure a foothold in the enemy trench, you push them back another trench. If you fail to secure a foothold, then you have to run back to your trench and defend it for the next wave. So that's kind of how it works, and then the team that has pushed back the other team the most trenches at the end of the game wins, or if you end up in the middle trenches again, it's just a draw. So it suits the game very well. It's pretty awesome, very unique, and I really like it, so you guys will probably have to see how that one goes when you're playing yourself. The best technique anyway for attacking seems to be to have a lot of your guys kind of charge over no man's lands, while some of you guys hang back and try and headshot some of the enemy defenders in their trench, because you can see silhouettes from quite far away in the game, and because of the no bullet drop mechanic, it means it makes headshots even more possible at long range. Moving on anyway to the kind of weapon mechanics, as I said, there's no bullet drop in this game, which at a glance you might think is a bad thing. I personally have played about 9 hours of the game now, and I think it suits it really well. The game also really encourages holding your breath when going for longer range shots. You do this by holding shift, and you can hold it for approximately 10 seconds and a bit longer if you are the sniper class. So this, as I said, makes headshots even more possible. In the game, you have to generally be really aware of your surroundings as well, because flanking is a big part, obviously, because you're going to be attacking the trench front on. So flanking is generally the best way to manage to get a foothold. So moving on to the squads, there are two different squads, the Scout and the Rifleman squad. Each squad has, so the Rifleman squad and the Scout squad, all of them have different classes within them. So there's 8 different classes in the game. The two main ones I'd probably point out right now are the MG for the Rifleman class and the Sniper for the Scout class. You can have a total of 4 squads a game, and each of these squads, so Rifleman squad, Scout squad, you can have unlimited. So you could have a team theoretically full of Scout squads. However, I think the game balances it out because you generally see 3 Rifleman squads and a Scout squad. So right now there are 2 factions in the game, which is the French and the Germans, and each have their own leveling up system for each individual class. So all 8 classes have their own unlocks. So that makes it sound like there's a lot of customizability. However, it is limited quite a lot compared to other games, which suits it really well. If you're the sort of guy that's that likes kind of Battlefield and loves switching out all his attachments, that's not in the game, but I think you'll find the replacement fits the game very well. So at the beginning, you'll find yourself using the same rifle pretty much for every class, apart from the MG class and the NCO class, because you get a pistol. So there's 2 different unlock processes, as I like to think of it. there's your weapon level, which, as I'm aware of at this moment, doesn't actually unlock anything. It's just kind of, I don't know what it is really. Shits and giggles really, they threw that in at the moment. And maybe you get something when you get to a really high, or the highest weapon level or something. I'm not sure. But the main level we want to look at is the class level, as I like to call it. Now the class level is every time you get a kill or gain any points, this goes, with using that class, it goes towards your class level points. So this class level points allow you to unlock things for your weapon and your class as an overall. For example, if you're playing as the German sniper, when you get to level 50, you unlock a telescopic scope, and when you get to level 70, you unlock a new, more powerful rifle to replace your K98. However, there is one kind of wonder I have about this system, is that it is easier and a lot quicker to unlock unlocks for the French side, because the levels you require to unlock things are a lot lower. For example, as I said, you have to be level 50 to unlock the scope for the German sniper. If you're playing as the French, you only have to be level 20. I'm not sure what that is. I know the basic rifle of the French holds 2 less rounds than the German one. Surely that doesn't balance it out that much, so maybe it's encouraging people to play the French, or showing that there's a weapon debalance and that the German standard weapon is better than the French. Not sure at this moment in time. Probably going to have to look into that. That's, well, there's an area of further research for me. Anyway, moving on, I managed to get a chance to talk to the devs, just random chance because I was in a game with them, and I managed to get out of them that there will be 1 new map and 2 new factions with new weapons, and that's going to be the Canadians and the British. I'm pumped for the British. No idea when they're coming out. It's nice to see the devs so active in game though. I've run into them in 3 separate games, and there's a lot of people playing, so it's pretty low chance. So they're definitely getting a lot of hours in, and it's a very nice thing to see, because you don't really see that much, do you? Another really nice feature of this game is that if you hit the F8 key, you can hide your whole HUD at once. And if you're wondering why this is useful, well, sometimes in games, say Battlefield, if you're aiming at a guy and the big objective marker's right in front of him, it's hard to distinguish your target from the marker. So this game has come up with a solution for that, and that's you hit the F8 key and it hides the whole HUD, hit it again and it brings it back up. It's a brilliant idea. You don't see many devs implementing that. Not sure why, but it is a very nice feature. The last thing I want to cover in the video, really, about Verdun, is the kind of other systems you have. So I like to think of them as kind of support systems. So I think it's the NCO, or one of the scouts, I can't quite remember, it's one of the classes with binoculars, has the ability to call in a, kind of like the UAV on Battlefield 4, a biplane which scans the battlefield and for a few seconds shows all the enemies on the field, well, in-game, on your minimap, which is quite handy, although in this game you won't find yourself looking at the minimap as much as other games, generally because you're engaging enemies at longer ranges, an area that your minimap doesn't cover, or, I don't know, it just seems a lot less useful in this game, which obviously isn't a bad thing, it's just the way the game pans out. Another thing that the NCO, or whoever can call the biplane in, possesses is the ability to call in a mortar strike. It's quite a small radius, but it's really good for taking out those kind of MG gunners and guys that are just sitting on the enemy trench line, hammering down on you. And you can take them out pretty efficiently. I think it takes about 10 seconds for it to, once you've initiated it, for it to come down. So you got to be sure that the guy's going to stick in place. But they both fit very nicely into the game. I wouldn't say either of them are overpowered in any way. And yeah, so for once, no balancing issues. And that could partially be down to the fact that this game takes the insurgency style of weapon damage. So it's a one-shot headshot with every weapon, I believe. And it's a maximum of 2 shots with a rifle, or 3 with a pistol, I think, anywhere else to take someone down. So yeah, it suits the game very well, as I've said before. I've only got positive things to say about this game. It's still in beta, so a lot more to come. I'm certainly going to follow it through its development. I managed to pick it up while it was on sale, but I'd even recommend this game at retail price. So if you're interested in World War I, World War II era shooters, or that realistic kind of weapon damage model, I'd recommend you go have a look at the game today, as I've certainly had a lot of fun with this game. So regarding these kind of more serious, detailed analysis of new games, do you guys want to see more of this? Or do you kind of prefer the other stuff? I'm not sure at this moment in time. I'm just trying to gauge what the interest is about different things I create. I'm still going to be creating a variety of things. Obviously, DayZ is absolutely next on my mind. I'm jumping into game to record it right after I finish editing this. So I'd really appreciate it if you guys could leave a like down below. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. And as always, take it easy.